Let your mind return to silence. Let your heart return to stillness. Let your life return to the place of purpose, for the world will offer you noise and fear and distraction, but the soul will offer you clarity if you are willing to listen. To live by principle is to live against the tide. To walk the path of virtue is to walk alone at times, but you were not born for comfort. You are born for truth. You are born to become, and becoming is not an event. It is a lifelong unfolding, a gradual awakening, a sacred discipline, like the sharpening of a blade, like the carving of a statue. Each choice you make chips away the false and reveals the divine. You must not expect the world to reward you for your virtue. It may never see you, it may never praise you, but the soul knows, and the soul does not forget. Aristotle taught that we become just by doing, just acts, courageous, by doing courageous acts, and wise by remembering what is eternal. So practice daily, practice, even in the dark, practice especially when no one is watching. The man who is free is not the one with no chains, but the one who cannot be moved by them. The woman who is strong is not the one without wounds, but the one who bears them with grace. You are not what you lack. You are what you choose. Choose resilience. Choose kindness when it costs you. Choose discipline when it hurts. Choose truth when it isolates you. Choose to rise even when the world expects you to fall. Do not waste time chasing what will rot. Fame, possession, the approval of fools. Instead seek what cannot rust. Virtue, character, courage, the sacred fire that no one can take from you. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that it is not death we should fear, but never beginning to live. So begin now. Begin again. Begin where you are with what you have. The only enemy is within. The only battlefield is your own soul. The only war worth fighting is the one that leads you to wisdom, and that war is won through quiet choices, daily acts of strength, hidden victories of the spirit. Remember, you are never alone in your striving. The souls of the ancients walk with you. The breath of eternity flows through you. The light of reason burns within you. When the path feels narrow, it is the right path. When the burden feels heavy, it is because it matters. When the silence deepens, it is because your soul is listening. Hold fast, speak less, act with honor. Live not for applause, but for alignment. Not for ease, but for excellence. Not for others, but for the good itself. And when you fall, rise. And when you weep, let it cleanse you. And when you doubt, let it humble you. For every moment is a door, and you are the one who chooses whether to pass through it or remain behind. Begin each day as if it were your first. Approach it not with dread or memory, but with the clarity of presence, with the purity of intention, for nothing is promised, and everything meaningful lies within your grasp. Now, what you do today echoes beyond the limits of time. What you think becomes your character. What you allow shapes what you become, and what you choose reveals who you are. Do not wait for greatness to be handed to you. It is not found in titles nor in applause. It is forged in obscurity, in the silent hour before dawn, in the moment you rise when no one asks you to, the discipline you practice when no one sees, the kindness you show when no one thanks you, the injustice you resist when no one joins you. These are the bricks that build your monument of virtue. Socrates taught that the unexamined life is not worth living, but the examined life requires courage to question, to strip away illusion, to see yourself not as you wish to be, but as you truly are. Let that sight not shame you, but ignite you. Let it not crush you, but compel you to become what is better, to climb, though the slope is steep, to endure, though the path is long. There is no shame in failing, only in yielding to that which you know is beneath your nature. Let failure be your tutor, not your master. Let fear be your servant, not your ruler. Let fate guide your steps, but never bind your will. Heraclitus said that character is destiny. So do not seek to control events. Seek to shape your soul, to temper it like steel and fire, to make it unshakable, not by hardness, but by harmony. To be just is not to seek revenge, but to restore balance. To be brave is not to feel no fear, but to act in spite of it. To be wise is not to know all, but to know what truly matters. You are not a leaf blown by wind. You are the wind, if you choose to be. You are not a shadow shaped by circumstance. You are the light, if you return to what is eternal. Plato told us that the soul of man is like a chariot, driven by reason and pulled by passion and spirit. Let reason take the reins. Let spirit give you fire, and let passion obey what is highest within you. When temptation whispers, remember your principles. When the world flatters, remember your duty. When despair speaks, remember the flame that has never left you. That flame is called Logos. That voice is called virtue. That power is called will, and you were born to carry it. So walk forward with serenity, act with clarity, speak with reverence, and live with a heart that remembers its origin and destination. You are not here to impress. You are here to awaken, not to accumulate, but to ascend. You are the mountain, not the fog. You are the sun, not the flicker. You are the soul, not the body, and the soul is eternal. Stand tall, not because the world sees you, but because you have seen within yourself something worth honoring, a flicker of divinity, a whisper of eternity, a reason to rise beyond the self that merely survives. You are not born to be consumed by time. You were born to transcend it, to live a life that cannot be erased, a life that echoes because it is built on principles, not on passions. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. And so let response become your power. Let reaction fade like dust, and let reason guide you like the sun. Do not be afraid of the slow path, the patient road, the quiet growth. For the strongest trees are not those that grow fastest, but those that dig deepest roots, dig deep into your soul. Ask the questions no one else dares to. Why am I here? What is good? What must I become? And when you find no easy answers, rejoice, for philosophy is not a comfort. It is a forge. It does not cradle, it creates. Let your days become deliberate, your actions aligned with virtue, your mind at peace, because it obeys reason, and your heart at rest, because it has given itself to what is eternal. Remember what Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So let hardship not hold you, but hone you. Let each resistance build resilience. Let every fall be followed by ascent. There is no shame in the wound that bleeds with honor, only in the soul that hides from the fight. You are here to wrestle with life, to press into it with courage, to mold it with the hands of wisdom, and to walk away, not untouched, but transformed. Let your life become a dialogue between your soul and the cosmos. Let your thoughts align with the order of the stars. Let your words reflect the depth of your silence, and let your deeds reveal the truth you live by. You are not your reputation. You are not your failures. You are not your fortune. You are the wool behind the deed, the flame beneath the ash, the voice that rises when all else falls. Aristotle taught us, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So build your habits with reverence. Craft your days like sacred rituals, and let your routine shape your destiny. For the battle is not fought in great wars, but in quiet mornings, in unseen decisions, in the moment you choose courage over comfort and discipline over desire. This is where greatness lives, in the hidden, in the hard, in the humble. Let your soul drink from these truths. Let your mind feast upon this wisdom. Let your body obey the commands of your highest self. Then, and only then, will you walk, not as one among many, but as one among the few, the guardians of reason, the bearers of virtue, the children of the Logos. The path to greatness does not begin with acclaim. It begins with awareness, with the quiet realization that within you lies something immortal, untouched by fortune, unshaken by fear. You are not the product of circumstance. You are the architect of meaning. As Heraclitus declared, character is destiny. So build your character as you would a temple, stone by stone, word by word, deed by deed. Let your actions today whisper to eternity. Let them say, I was not perfect, but I was present. I did not always win, but I never fled. I did not live for comfort. I lived for virtue. Ask not how long you shall live. Ask how deeply, how wisely, how nobly, for the length of life is not its measure. Its measure is found in the soul's ascent. Socrates taught us, the unexamined life is not worth living, so examine your soul as one would a sacred script. Look at your fears and ask if they are worthy. Look at your desires and ask if they are just. Look at your words and ask if they bring light or merely sound. Let truth, not convenience, guide your thoughts. Let beauty, not vanity, stir your heart. Let justice, not popularity, shape your choices. The sage walks through the same world as the fool, but sees it through different eyes. Where the fool sees insult, the sage sees instruction. Where the fool seeks revenge, the sage practices restraint. This is the art of becoming, not through sudden change, but through constant alignment with what is good, with what is right, with what is timeless. For all things pass away, empires, fame, even memory, but virtue remains, unfading, unconquered. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, and in that being, you honor every philosopher who ever lived, not with words, but with living proof. So live not as a shadow, but as a flame. Live not in reaction, but in reflection. Live not for applause, but for alignment with the divine order. You are the measure of your own worth, not by comparison to others, but by fidelity to your own soul. The gods gave you Logos, the divine reason. Use it, strengthen it, refine it. Let it be your compass. When storms rage, when the road is unclear, when others stumble in the dark, you will walk in light, not because the world changed, but because you did. And when you fall, as all must fall, fall nobly, fall with grace, fall with your eyes still fixed on the summit. For the fall is not failure, it is preparation for flight. This is the discipline of the philosopher, the courage of the Stoic, the serenity of the sage, the calling of every soul who dares to live as more than flesh. You are not your past. You are not your scars. You are the soul that learns, the will that rises, the breath that endures. Let each day be your symposium, each choice, your philosophy made flesh, each moment a temple to the eternal. You were not born to drift, but to direct, not to obey the whims of the world, but to govern yourself with wisdom. As Plato taught, the soul is like a chariot with two horses, one noble, one base, and reason is the charioteer. You must learn to steer your nature toward the heights. Do not curse your trials. They are the forge of your greatness. What fire does to gold, adversity does to the soul. It burns away the false and reveals the essential. So when hardship comes, do not say, "Why me?" Say now, "I am ready." What is the measure of a life well lived? It is not wealth, nor titles, nor comfort. It is the harmony between what you profess and what you practice, the courage to speak truth when silence is safer, the strength to choose right when wrong is easier, the grace to endure when all within you cries for escape. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, and habits are born of will. So will yourself into virtue. Train your thoughts to love the good. Train your actions to reflect that love. You must live as though your every step echoes into eternity, because it does. Each moment you spend in integrity, in kindness, in courage, changes not only your fate, but the fate of the world. Be not distracted by fame. Fame is the applause of shadows. Seek the approval of your soul, not the crowd. Do not run after those who run from themselves. Be still, be deep, be real. The wise do not seek to be remembered. They seek to be aligned with nature, with truth, with the divine order that governs all things unseen. Let your life be a silent hymn, a prayer not spoken but lived. Let your presence be a light for others, not by preaching, but by being. You are not alone. For every time you choose virtue over vice, you walk with Socrates, with Marcus Aurelius, with Epictetus. You join the eternal fellowship of the wise. Do not say, "I am too old," or too late, or too broken, for every breath is a beginning, and the gods measure not how far you have come, but how honestly you walk from this moment forward. Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, because he is not the same man, and it is not the same river. So change, flow, become, but become with purpose, with honor, with truth as your guiding star. Do not fear death. Fear never having lived as your soul was meant to live. Do not fear failure. Fear never having tried. And in your final hour, when breath is thin and time is spent, may you say with calm and joy, I lived not perfectly, but with purpose, not without wounds, but without regret. I lived as one who chose the light again and again." If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.